Hello students, welcome to Plus 1 Political Science class. Today I will continue with lesson 4, Political Ideologies. It has 4 ideologies: liberalism, socialism, communism and fascism. The objectives of today's class are fascism, its meaning and birth, fascism, nature and basic principles, and critical evaluation of fascism. Before discussion of these objectives, I will discuss the key terms with you. The first key term is totalitarianism, means a system of government that is centralized and dictatorial. Authoritarianism, favoring strict obedience to authority at the expense of personal freedom. Racism, difference on the basis of race and belief that own race is superior. Imperialism, a policy of extending countries' power and influence through use of military force for political and economic benefits. Catholic Church, society of Christians professing same faith under the authority of invisible Christ. Anti-intellectualism, hostility to and mistrust of intellect. Irrationalism, a belief that disregards rational principles. Now, I will discuss today's topic, that is meaning and birth of fascism. Page 103 to 110. Fascism was one of the two basic authoritarian mass movements of 20th century. Communism was the first revolt against liberal way of life and fascism was the second. Fascism had its origin in Italy as a result of socio-economic political conditions of the First World War. Now I will discuss what is fascism. Fascism is neither a well worked out theory nor it has a set philosophy behind it like the communism has. It is more a program of action than a political philosophy. Fascism got commonly associated with the name of Mussolini, who started the rule of blood and iron in Italy. Fascism had no doctrine in its initial stage. Mussolini, the chief exponent of fascism, believed in the motto of action not talk. Now I will discuss the nature and basic principles of fascism in detail. So students, this becomes your long question. You must listen it very carefully. So the first feature of the basic principles of fascism is distrust of reason. The fascist philosophy does not believe in reason. Reason doesn't carry any appeal to them. The fascists regard man as irrational animal. Normally we call man as rational animal, but fascists call man as irrational animal. They admit that their movement is mainly anti-intellectual. Is it clear? The next principle is denial to basic human equality. Fascism is opposed to the concept of human equality, which is a base of democracy. Fascists affirm inequality as an ideal. So our constitution also provide under Article 14 right to equality. So these two principles tell humans have no value under fascism. First point tell man is irrational animal, and this point tells man has no equality. The third point tells glorification of war and violence. It was through aggressiveness and violence that Mussolini could emerged as a totalitarian ruler of Italy and justified his illegal actions as morally necessary. So, whatever he did illegally, he said it's morally necessary. Students, you have done about works of fascist party in detail in 10th class ICSE, but about theory and principles I am talking today. The next principle is faith in authoritarianism. Totalitarianism in all human relations characterizes fascism. Fascism goes far ahead of mere dictatorship. It stands for total control of state over the people. According to them, the state is the end and the individual is the means. So therefore the state has every right to use its citizens as a tool. So according to fascist, citizens are tools. And to protect the fascist state, Mussolini organized the secret police also. So Mussolini organized the secret police. He used the citizens as a tool and he organized the secret police. And this secret police name was VORA. And the full form is Voluntary Organization for the Repression of Anti-Fascism. Means whosoever is against fascist, they will be repressed. So the next principle is opposition to international law. So this is the next principle. Fascism stands for aggressive nationalism and anti-internationalism. Students, you know the meaning of aggressive nationalism means love for own nation at the cost of others. That time League of Nations was formed after the First World War, but Mussolini loved his own country only at the cost of peace of other nations. The duty of the state, according to fascist party, the duty of the state is only towards itself and not to the world as a whole. Every citizen is to act as instrument in the advancement of the nation only. Is it clear? The next principle is belief in one party. This is belief in one party and a government. Fascism believes in one party to run the government, and that also fascist party. It believes that party system weakens the government. So it does not permit any opposition. So there is no need of opposition. You know, in democratic system, there is always opposition. Like in America, there is a biparty system, means two parties. In India, there is a multi-party system. When there is a voting, we have option to cast vote to any party. But under fascism, there is no voting, no elections, because there is only one party, that is fascist party. So these are the principles of fascist. Now I will talk about the critical evaluation of fascism. Fascism has been criticized by a large number of scholars for its anti-human and anti-liberal totalitarianism. Its support for war and violence reflects its inhuman nature. Now I will tell you the points of criticism. The first criticism is fascism has been a hodgepodge of ideas derived from various sources. The critics point out that fascism was vague in several respects. It was just jumbling of ideas borrowed from various sources. Fascism was indeed not an ism. It was just a hodgepodge, because fascism started in Italy itself and it did not had any ideology from any other country. It did not adopt any other country's ideology. The next point is movement against socialism. Some critics are of the view that fascism was resistance to liberal or socialist ideas because fascists supported private property and is against socialism. Students, in the same chapter you have done socialism also. You know socialism supports public ownership and fascists support the private ownership. So it is against the socialism. The next point is glorification of war, violence and against imperialism. It is unacceptable to imperialism. Another major defect of fascism has been that it glorifies war and violence to such an extent that it becomes unbearable for the society. Moreover, a society based on fear and violence cannot last long. It is bound to collapse one day and lead to revolution. Is it clear? The next point is fascism presents anti-intellectualism or irrationalism. Some critics are of the view that fascism is anti-intellectualism, that is, in content. According to them, under fascism, educated people talk unnecessarily and play with knowledge without knowing their own responsibility. So the result is, consequently, the fascism deserves outright rejection. So fascism cannot be accepted. Is it clear? Fascism is an ideology of the state which is not acceptable in the present state. Is it clear? Fascism cannot be accepted as a totalitarian state which does not make difference between the state and government. It stands for an all-powerful totalitarian state governed by a single leader, single party, single government and single ideology. Students, this finishes the discussion of my today's topic, that is fascism with its meaning, principles and critical evaluation. It covers your topic and it completes the chapter also. All the four ideologies I have discussed with you, and it covers your long questions, that is question number 10, 11, 12, and it covers your pages number 103 to 110. The three questions which it covers I will discuss. Question 10 is, what is fascism? Explain its basic principles. Question 11, fascism is a hodgepodge of several different ideologies and creeds. Discuss with reference to the features of fascism. Question 12, critically examine the basic features of fascism. So as I told you, this topic finishes your lesson 4, ideologies, and next time I will start lesson 5, sovereignty. You must do the snap over questions and revise the full chapter. Okay, next time I will start the next chapter. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.